Hey guys, Coach Matt here from Joe's Basecamp, ready to run you guys through another Basecamp Homies workout. By the time you're listening to this, it's probably week 2 of your school holidays, so I hope you're having a great time, making the most of the good weather that we have, sticking to social distancing protocols of course, but nothing wrong getting a bit of vitamin D while we can. Hopefully we play a part in that. Hopefully you've been jumping on board, and if this is your first time to a Basecamp Homies workout, welcome. Hopefully you will enjoy today and be back for more. What we're going to do today is teach you guys a skill, integrate that skill into a bit more of a complex circuit, and then finish off with a bit of a challenge. So the skill today is going to be a bear crawl. We're going to add that into a fun workout which we call Don't Drop the Baby. And then the final challenge that we're going to do is called the Turkish Get Up, and again we're going to try and keep that baby off the floor. So we'll get started with a warm-up now. So for those who've done this before, you guys know what's involved, where we're going to go through 2 rounds of exercises, 20 seconds of each. For those who haven't done it before, follow along. 20 seconds should give you plenty of time to know what's going on. Let me get the clock set and we'll get rolling. I always struggle with this thing, but looks like we're off to a good start. Oh, I don't want 10 seconds, no. Fail. There we go. All right, I think we're on now, guys. Righty guys, so we're going to start off 20 seconds of high knees. Once those 3 beeps go off, we'll get you started. So up on your feet, ready to go in the high knees. We need you up on the ball of your feet, bringing your knees up to your chest, trying to get those knees up as high as you can. Your warm-up's all about trying to go through bigger and bigger ranges of motion, trying to get your heart rate up a little bit and trying to get a little bit of a sweat on. So we want to keep a nice tall torso, have the arms pumping. And now we're going to go into some butt kicks. So your butt kicks or your heel flicks, we're just going the opposite way. So again, we're on the ball of the feet, we're up nice and tall, and we're trying to get your heel up your backside as far as you can on each stride. So I'm not too concerned how many you do. I want the idea to be about getting as much range of motion as you can. From there, we're into your A skips. So we're skipping through the field, but we're just adding some high knees into the equation with that. So again, pumping opposite arm and opposite leg, staying high on the ball of the feet, and just skipping away without a care in the world. From there, we're into your straight leg bounds. So keeping the legs nice and straight, knees locked as best you can, right on the ball of the feet. We're going to kick the feet out as far as you can, trying to stay nice and bouncy. From there, we're going to slow it down a bit. We're going to go into your reverse lunges with rotation. So you're going to drop your back knee down to the ground, squeeze your back bum cheek, and try and look over the shoulders as far as you can. Looking to try and see the wall behind you, if possible. From there, we're into your walkouts. We're going to take your hands down to your toes, legs nice and straight, walk out into a push-up position, drop your hips down into an upward dog, looking up to the roof, big breath out, then taking your hips up to the ceiling into a downward dog, walking your hands back to your toes, and then finishing the first round off with a strider. So your strider in a push-up position, foot to the outside of your hand, squeeze your back bum cheek, inside hand extending up to the roof, bringing it back down to push-up position, doing the same thing on the other side. So when we're in this stretch position, we're trying to push our 2 hands as far away from each other as you can. From there, we're back to the start. So we're into your high knees. Up on the ball of the feet, nice tall torso, trying to get those knees up to your chest, trying to take it through more and more range of motion. From there, into your heel flicks. So again, up on the ball of the feet, heels to your backside, nice and relaxed with the arms, trying to get that heel further and further on each stride. From there, into your A skips. Again, just skipping through the field without a care in the world. Nice high knees, up on the ball of the feet, having the time of your life. Back into those straight leg bounds. Again, Ball of the feet, consistent theme. Nice straight legs, kicking them out in front, pumping the arms away. Keep it nice and tall through your torso. Nice job, guys. From there, you're into a reverse lunge. So dropping your back knee, squeeze your back bum cheek, look over one shoulder as far as you can, look over the other, come back up, switching legs. Doing the same thing. As we're twisting, we're trying to stay as tall as we can through your torso. Oh, missed one. Gonna finish it off anyway. Oh. And then we're gonna go back into your walkout, hands to toes, walk out into a push-up position, drop the hips, big breath out, look to the ceiling, up into your downward dog, walking your hands back to your toes, and then finishing this off with striders. So back into push-up position, foot to the outside of the hand, big breath out, take your inside hand up to the roof, push the two hands as far away from each other as you can, back to push-up position, same thing on the other side. Big breath out, two hands as far away from each other as you can, back to your push-up position, and that beat marks the end of our warm-up. What we'll do, guys, is we'll go grab a drink. Whilst doing that, we need a bit of equipment for today. So we're gonna need a big coffee table or a dining table of some sort. We need you to ask mum or dad for permission to use that. We need a chair or a sofa close by, and we need something that is gonna act as our baby for today. So that can be something like a stuffed toy, a small light book, a ball if you really want to challenge yourself. So just something that's about that sort of size, maybe 2 fist width size. See if you can find that floating around the house, and we'll come back together after that drink and we'll reconvene and show you what that skill is. So I'll just sneak that stuff there so I don't forget it. So guys, how'd we go finding that stuff? Did we get the big yes from mum and dad? This is my baby for today. Just a nice little yoga block. Fits about that 2 fist side, maybe just a little bit higher, or sorry, a little bit bigger, but it'll do the trick for me, and hopefully you found something that'll work for you too. It'll make more sense once we show you what baby is. But we'll put baby aside for the moment, sticking to what we're looking for today. Keep her off the ground. So if you can, put her on a table so she doesn't hit the ground, just so you get used to the idea of what we're gonna try and do later. For the moment, we're gonna run you through our skill for today. And our skill, as we mentioned, is a bear crawl. So we have done bear crawls in previous Basecamp Homies workouts, but as you've seen, we do come back around to skills and look to break them down a little bit so that they make more sense. So we'll do that now. We'll run you through your strength circuit afterwards and how we're gonna integrate your bear crawl and that later on. So your bear crawl, we're looking to set up on your hands and your knees, hands under shoulders and knees under your hips. From there, we want to get a good push through your hands. So we want to keep this bone on the front of your chest that we call your sternum, just like what we've talked about in our push-up. We want to keep this bone parallel to the floor. From there, we want to push through your hands to get a good stretch between your shoulder blades. And we want to imagine you've got a belt buckle on and you're trying to tilt that belt buckle up to your belly button. So once I've got those 3 things, so I've got parallel sternum, good stretch or good reach away from the floor and a stretch between my shoulder blades, belt buckle to belly button, I'm then going to come up onto my toes. And I'm looking to maintain a nice straight spine. So when we talk about not dropping baby later, we're going to put the item that you chose on your low back, and we're going to make sure that it doesn't fall off through that skill and through the other exercises that we take you through. So if you can imagine now that you've got baby there, we've set up, we've got those 3 things, nice flat back, baby on back, and from here we're going to try and crawl forwards, the opposite hand, opposite leg, moving forwards and back, and keeping that table or that spine as nice, as straight as possible, so that in this case baby wouldn't fall off. So what we'll get you guys to do now is play around with that without baby for the moment, just to get used to that idea. So your setup again is hands under shoulders, knees under hips, sternum parallel to the floor, push away from the floor to get a stretch between your shoulder blades, belt buckle to belly button, up on the toes, and then it's just very, very small steps to move forwards and back. If we take steps that are too big, we then tend to move our spine around a little bit too much and baby will fall off today. So what we'll get you to do now, guys, is grab your baby, whack it on your back, and have a bit of a play around with that. And just see, making sure going into this strength circuit that you're going to be able to do that. Otherwise, we may need to choose a different baby. So we'll set up again, baby's on back, and we're crawling forwards, and we're going to crawl back. So depending on the space that you've got available to you, it may be that you're able just to move forward through your house and just work around in a big circle. If you've got limited space like I do here, it might just be a case of moving forwards and back. So that's going to be your bear crawl with baby on back. So if we move into your strength circuit now, that's going to be the first exercise that we've got. So we've got 3 rounds of a game we call Don't Drop the Baby. 30 steps of bear crawl, baby's going to rest on your back. Second exercise is overhead lunges or reverse lunges. So you can hold baby in a few different ways, flat palm or grab onto it. Weight's going to go over, or baby's going to go over your head, and you're just going to stride back, alternating legs. So we'll end up doing 10 on each leg. At 10 or 5 each side, we're going to get you to flip baby around and do it on the other. So you can either hold onto baby, you can hold onto baby with a flat palm, or if you really want to challenge yourself, you can try and hold baby on your knuckles. If baby hits the floor through any of these exercises, it's an extra 5 burpees at the end of this circuit. Number 3 is table rows. So our table rows, this is where the coffee table or the big dining table is going to come in handy. So we're going to set up underneath that coffee table, and even when demonstrating, baby's not allowed to hit the floor. Baby is then going to rest on your chest, and we want baby to stay resting on your chest as we pull up to the underside of the coffee table. Try not to hit baby too hard at the top. So in using the dining table, you'll just be hooking your hands over the top with that one. Whoop, baby's on floor, there's 5 burpees for me at the end. We'll make sure we hold me to those. Number 4 is a 20-second hold of a rear foot elevated good morning. So we're going to use the chair or the sofa that we talked about having close and handy. So this will act as my chair. And all we're going to do from here, have 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot up on that chair or sofa, and then we're going to rest baby on your upper back with your chest forward over your toes, and we're just going to try and hold this position for 20 seconds. So if I round my back or do anything like that, there's a good chance that baby might roll off. So we're looking in this position to hold a nice straight back. So when I'm bent over, chest over my toes, I'm looking to keep this label on my t-shirt visible to the person in front of me, and that should keep me in a good straight spine position. The last one we're going to run you through your 3 rounds is Blackburns. One we've done a fair few times before for those who have been to the Basecamp Homies workout, before. So we're going to have baby now resting on our upper back, set up on your tummy, hands behind your back, like you've been handcuffed, tummy sucked off the floor, and from there we're going to go from handcuffed to the letter Y with your thumbs up, and we're going to go back and forth between that 10 times. And we're working through that for 3 rounds. So with today, it's just work through at your own pace. There's no clock to it. The ambition being that we are trying to get through it as quick as we can. But if you need drinks breaks throughout, feel free to drink when you need to. Feel free to take breaks when you need to. So get all your equipment set up, guys. Create some space so that you've got some good flow for your circuit. I'll get the clock set up, grab a quick drink before we start, and then we'll get into it. Alrighty guys, if we're all set, once I hit this timer, it'll give us a 10-second countdown. So as we said, 3 rounds, go at your own pace. So for those of you who want to fly by all means do it and post your time below and we'll see who can get the quickest. But if you do drop baby, make sure that you let us know too, and make sure you send through some videos of you doing those burpees too. Make sure that we keep me in check as well. I'll be doing 5 at the end, hopefully no more than 5. Hopefully I save baby from there. So if we get started, 10 seconds. Starting off with those bear crawls. So 30 steps, can be in either direction, forwards or back, making sure that baby stays in check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, So as we go a bit further in this one, as the arms and the tummy start to get a little bit tired, it'll get a little bit shakier, be a little bit harder to keep that back nice and straight. Baby becomes at a bit more risk, so we want to make sure that we're good guardians. There's success with our bear crawls. You beauty. One down. So from there, we're into our reverse lunges. So I'm just going to go with flat palm today. Don't trust my knuckles. I'm going to drop that back knee down, and we're just alternating from side to side. So as we do this, trying to keep a nice tall torso. We're trying to keep the back bum cheek squeezed as we take it down towards the ground. I'm trying to push this arm up to the roof as high as I can so that I'm nice and active through that shoulder joint. I think that's 10. Counting's never been a strong point. But looking after the baby is looking good so far. Nice, guys. 3 makes 20, I believe. Arm's gonna love it. Yeah, alrighty. From there, guys, I'm into my table rows. You might be much further ahead of me, or you might be keeping the same pace as me, which will make me feel good about myself. From there, guys, setting up under your coffee table. So remember, hooking the hands over the top, trying to keep baby resting on your chest. Try not to bash her too hard at the top. Use your feet as needed. So if you want to make this one a bit trickier, the further we stick your feet out, the harder that'll become. If you're finding that a bit tricky, the more we bend your legs, the easier it becomes. And we can start to use your feet to help get you up in that too. But the good news is we've got a couple of rounds to practice those. From there, where are we at? 20-second hold of a rear foot elevated good morning. So finding your chair or your sofa, if you are keeping pace with me, 1 foot on that chair or sofa, baby's going to be resting on your back. And then from there, we're looking to take your chest forward over your toes, keep your chest up nice and proud. So you want to make your label on your t-shirt visible to the person in front of you, and try not to let baby fall off. So if we're keeping those positions, we're likely to keep baby nice and safe. So I'm going to guesstimate a time, have a cheeky look at the clock. I think that's about 5 seconds left on this side. Now you can go about transitioning 1 or 2 ways. You can hold onto her and stand back up, or you can just try and hold that position down there and switch your legs around. Chest staying forward over the toes, that label on the t-shirt up nice and proud. Try and take a better look at the clock this time so that I'm keeping it more accurate, 20 seconds. I think that's about 10 there. Again, nice proud chest. This is working on some hip hinge mechanics, so if you watched one of our previous episodes on the Romanian deadlift, this is a similar motion to that. I think that's 20 seconds there. Come on, baby. Down into my hands. There we go. Nice, safe exit. Alrighty, guys, to finish first round of 3, baby's gonna go back into that same spot. We're gonna finish off with 10 black bones. So back on the tummy, suck the belly button away from the floor, you're handcuffed, up into your letter Y, back into the handcuff position. So we're just going back and forth between those 2 positions, trying to keep the belly button sucked off the ground the whole time through, trying to keep the fronts of the shoulders as far away from the ground as you can. And another cue that we may not have mentioned previously is that we just want to make a bit of a double chin as well, just so we're in a good neck position. I think 2 more makes 10. Whew. There we go. There's 1 successful round keeping baby off the ground. So I might grab a quick drink, so you're more than welcome to, as we said, at any time you want. Got a couple more rounds through. Alrighty, guys. So starting round 2, we'll get your hair out of the way. Got to take advantage of the space that I do have. So we're into bear crawls again. The baby's going to rest on your lower back, parallel sternum, tummy nice and tight, so belt buckle to belly button. Getting a good reach through your shoulders, and then trying to make sure that baby's nice and settled up there. Trying to imagine that she's having a sleep, and even if she's not falling off, we want to make that ride as smooth as possible, so she can sleep through it too. Nice small steps, guys. The bigger the step, the harder it is to control. There's 30. Alrighty, guys, back into your reverse lunges. Depending on what grip you used last time, if you grabbed it, you may want to try flat palm this time. If you tried flat palm, you may want to try knuckles. I'm going to stick with flat palm. Only because I know my knuckles don't line up too straight. Alternate, Matt. There we go. So you're pushing that hand up towards the roof, keeping nice and active through that shoulder, squeezing the back bum cheek, nice tall torso, knee on the front foot, trying to stay lined up over the middle of the foot. 10. Left arm appreciates that. She was getting a bit tired overhead. Seems to lose a bit of blood flow as well. Doesn't seem like the blood likes to travel up. 4 to go. 2. You bitty. Righty, from there guys, we're back in your table rows. Hopefully your coffee table or dining table is close by so that you're not having to run around too far. But if you are, sometimes it's nice to get a different view through a workout, take in the scene. So again, if you struggled last time with straight legs, bring them more bent. If you struggled with, or if you found bent legs quite easy, try and straighten them out a little bit. For those with bent legs, you also have the option of pushing hard through your feet to assist you up. Remember, we want to keep baby balanced. We also don't want to crush her at the top. So we want to be nice and controlled at the top. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit further, a bit of a hold at the top is going to make that movement just that little bit more difficult. There's 10. From there, we'll need your chair or sofa. Again, we're going to try and balance baby on your back. I'm going to try and be a lot better about looking at the clock this time, 6:55. So we're going to bend forward, chest over your toes, labeling t-shirt visible to the person in front. So I'm trying to show it to you guys at the moment. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. Where's my clock? There's about 15 seconds, 5 to go. I'm going to try for that sneaky switch again down. So I'm going to stay low, switch my feet around, so make sure I keep that same torso angle. Otherwise you may well just stand up, hold on to baby, and set yourself up again. So again, chest over toe. Did a terrible job at looking at the clock that time. I'm assuming that's 10 seconds there. So we'll go to 37. Nice proud chest, knee over the middle of the foot. Trying to use this back foot as little as you can. There's 20 seconds. Oh, baby safe still. Alrighty guys, fifth exercise, second round. Don't know where number 3 came from. I think I'm thinking third round already. Wishful thinking. We're gonna start on your tummy, belly button off the floor, handcuffed, fronts of the shoulders as far away from the ground as you can, and looking to hold those 2 things in particular, belly button off the floor and fronts of the shoulders away from the ground. So the other cue we mentioned last time was trying to make a bit of a double chin. The next one we'll add this round is when you're in this position here, try and reach your hands as far away from you as you can as well. So imagine you've just got some cookies just out of your reach and you're trying to get them. Cookies work for me, they might not work for you. You may want to reach for something else, but whatever it is that would get you wanting to reach, imagine that's there and you're desperately to get them. Think one more makes 10. Whew. 2 rounds down, baby's still safe. Too bad I mucked up at the start. Alrighty, one more round to go guys. So, you may well want to grab a drink again. I'm going to try and push through this time and go without. Again, set up my space. Limited, got to take advantage of what I do have. So 30 steps of your bear crawl, baby on back, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, good stretch, belt buckle to belly button, opposite hand, opposite leg. As we get into this third round, as we're a bit more fatigued, it's likely that we may well be a bit more wobbly. Try your best to keep yourself as steady as possible. Burpees are not fun. I think the end of this will make 30. Pretty good. There we go. From there guys, back in your reverse lunges. So again, depending on what you used last time, you may well want to make that grip a bit more difficult. So flat palm to knuckles, gripped to flat palm. Again, my knuckles don't line up too straight, so I'm just going to go with flat palm. Trying to push that hand up to the roof as high as you can so we're nice and active through that shoulder. Oop, lost my balance a bit. Good. So with that idea of me falling to the side a bit there, that's because I wasn't paying attention to staying solid on that front foot as well. So we want to feel outside of the foot, outside of your heel, but also your big toe pressing down into the ground to counteract that. Switching sides there. Same idea, pushing that hand up to the roof, feeling for that whole foot, back bum cheek squeezed, knee over the middle of the foot on the front leg. 4 to go there. How are those arms going, guys? My shoulder's starting to get a bit tight here, tired, sorry, and baby doesn't weigh a lot. I think that'll make 20. Whew. Table rows. So again, making your way there, setting yourself up underneath, make sure baby's safe. For the last round, guys, really look to push yourself. So I'm gonna go with straight legs and follow my own advice. We can also hold at the top for a couple seconds on each rep, just to again, make it that little bit harder. Making sure you're not banging baby too hard. Whew. Oh, I think I woke baby on that last one, but she's still off the floor. Alrighty guys, from there, find the chair or the sofa, bring it out, back foot on there, set up in your chest over toes position, label on the t-shirt, up nice and high. We got 152 or 1152, so we're going to 12-12. Looking to keep as much weight as you can on that front leg. So same as with those reverse lunges, if we've got the whole foot pressing into the ground, so outside edge of your heel, big toe, we're going to be working from a good base of support, something that will be a lot easier to balance on. So we'll switch sides there. Same idea, chest over the toes, chest up or label up, keeping as much weight as you can on this front leg, trying not to bend that back. Ooh. Good when I look down. As soon as I look at that clock, I'm in a bit of trouble. Sorry baby, I'm going to take one more look. I think that makes 20. Alrighty guys, I'm going to finish off round 5th exercise, round 3. Not making up that number 3 exercise this time. We're going to finish off with your Blackburns. So baby's going to go on the back. Hands behind your back in a handcuff position, tummy off the floor, making that letter Y. Fronts of the shoulders away from the ground, thumbs up, double chin, reaching those hands to whatever tickles your fancy. Baked goods are always a winner for me. Two more. And that makes 10. So depending on where you guys are at, rules still apply. Baby's still not allowed to hit the ground. Now, I'm going to do my 5 burpees while some of you may well be finishing off, unless you kept pace with me, or even if you went faster than me. If you did drop baby at all, making sure that you're doing your burpees now, but you're not going on the floor while you do that. So I'm going to put mine up on a table. So hands to the ground, chest to the floor, tucking in, hands behind the back of the head. Teach me next time to drop baby. I'm having good luck with the mic at the moment too, you beauty. There's 5. Alrighty guys, so if you have all finished, or if you're on your way to finish, make sure at the end that you do grab a drink before we hit our challenge. So I'm going to wait another minute, minute and a half, bit of time to clean up my side of things and get the equipment we need for your Turkish get up, which really just is baby. And also grab a drink and we'll reconvene in about a minute. Alrighty guys, how are we going? Let's take it to 15 minutes. 15 is a good round number. And if you are still going, feel free to pause at this point and just finishing her off before we run through your challenge, or you can just choose to listen as we explain what it is. So our challenge today is a Turkish get up. Some of you may have done it before, some of you may not. We'll go through it step by step with me as we run through this. The challenge being that we're going to try and hold the baby in the most difficult position that we can. Burpee penalties off the cards here, so I want today to be about just trying to, this challenge to be about trying to challenge yourself as much as you can. Funny that. So it can either be that you're going to grab baby with a flat palm if you are finding it tricky. If you do want to make things harder, no grab, just rest it. If you want to make it harder again, we'll go knuckles. While I show it the first time, I'm going to try with flat palm. From there, I will give knuckles an attempt, but I just don't like my knuckles. I don't think they line up too straight, but I will work my best to make it happen. So what we'll do, watch me the first time, then come down the second time and follow me step by step. And each time you play around with it, I just want you to challenge yourself with the position that you hold your hand in or you hold baby in, so that you are demanding a little bit more balance each time. But for this first time, as we said, just watching me. So the idea behind it being that we're going to lie flat on your back. You're going to have baby directly in the air. But what we want to imagine is that baby is 100 kilos. So with baby straight over the top of my shoulder, I'm unlikely to drop it because gravity is going to push the baby straight down into my shoulder. As soon as I venture off that axis, 100 kilos in gravity and one arm is definitely going to then fall fast to the floor. So we want to think throughout that we're keeping an arm straight up to the roof, nice and 90 degrees to floor, and roof perpendicular would be probably the more appropriate word to use. So we're going to set up in this position. From here we go through a series of steps. So I'm going to push through this foot, pull through this arm to bring myself up onto my elbow. I'm then going to pop myself up onto my hand. I'm going to bridge my hips up, bring my knee through so that I make a triangle with my hand, my knee and my foot. I can then just hinge up, keep that hand on top of my shoulder, and then I'm going to stand up. And then we won't do the get down part today. I just want to do the get up just so you can get used to that side of things. But the get down would just be the reverse of that. So what we'll get you guys to do now is jump down on the floor with me. Start off just grabbing it so that you've got a good hold and you can focus on the steps. But from there, I want you to play around with trying more difficult positions with that hand. And I'll leave you with that as your challenge for today. So if we have you down on the floor, I'm going to give the knuckles a go. Come on, flat knuckles. Alrighty, so we're going to start off bent leg, straight arm. It's looking dicey already. So we're going to then push through your foot, pull through your elbow. Then going to come up onto your hands. We want to keep the hand straight on top of the shoulder, and that's where the baby's going to be best balanced. And then going to bridge up onto my hips. Oh, baby's gone. So to finish her off, I'll keep flat palm, bridge the hips up, knee through so that we make a triangle. So triangle with your hand, your knee, your foot. So this will be the most tricky transition. So bridge, triangle, push yourself up or hinge yourself up. From there you're in a nice reverse lunge position, overhead lunge, reverse lunge position like we've just done. Pushing that hand up to the roof, we're then going to stand up nice and tall and keep baby nice and safe. Back down into the chest and starting her again. So what we'll do is I'm going to leave you with that as your challenge today. Play around with it for as long as you like. See if anyone can master the flat knuckles and do one better than me. If you do, post a comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear it and give you a virtual high five. And look, that Turkish get up is a great skill to learn. Hope you've enjoyed today, guys. Hope you're around for tomorrow. So as we know, these are on Monday through Friday, posted early in the day. So check it out. Get up, get your friends active, get a sweat on for the day. Nothing better than being healthy and prepared for the day like that, for the holidays, but also when you return to study. We'll be around for school time as well. We'll see you next time, guys.